Good morning, folks. My name is Curtis Chandler, president here at PFL. We hope that everyone had a great 4th of July weekend, and if you happen to live in Canada, a happy Canada Day weekend. For those of you who do not know what Canada Day is, it was Canada's birthday on Friday of last week and celebrated its 155th birthday. The Dow closed higher on Friday of last week and was up 321.83 points, but down 402.74 points week over week. The S&P closed higher on Friday of last week, up 39.95 points, but down 86.41 points week over week. The Nasdaq closed higher on Friday of last week, up 99.11 points, but was down a whopping 479.78 points week over week. In overnight trading, Dow futures traded lower and are expected to open down this morning 160 points. Crude oil prices rose on Friday of last week despite the release of industry data showing U.S. manufacturing activity slowed more than expected last month, adding to evidence that the country's economy was cooling as the Federal Reserve tightens monetary policy. Still, low crude and fuel supplies supported the oil market even as equities slumped and the U.S. dollar, which typically has an inverse relationship with crude, rose. Planned strike among Norwegian oil and gas workers today could cut the country's overall petroleum output by 8%, shaking the already fragile supply side as Libya declares force majeure. West Texas Intermediate crude WTI settled at $108.43 a barrel, gaining $2.67 a barrel on Friday of last week and up 81 cents a barrel week over week. U.S. commercial crude inventories decreased by 2.8 million barrels week over week. U.S. crude oil inventories are now 13% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Total motor gasoline inventories increased by 2.6 million barrels week over week and are 8% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Distillate fuel inventories decreased by 2.6 million barrels week over week and are 20% below the 5-year average for this time of years. Propane and propylene inventories increased by 100,000 barrels week over week and are 16% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Propane prices were flat week over week, settling out the week at $1.20 per gallon, still up 19 cents year over year, but closing. Oil is higher in overnight trading and WTI is poised to open up 46 cents a barrel from Friday's close. Total North American weekly rail volumes were down 4.6% in week 26 compared with the same week last year. 6 of AAR's 11 major traffic categories posted year-over-year declines, with the largest decreases coming from other, down 17.0%, grain down 12.7%, forest products down 7.4%. The largest increase came from petroleum and petroleum products, which was up 5.2%. North American rig count was up by 9 rigs week over week. U.S. rig count was down by 3 rigs week over week and up by 275 rigs year over year. The U.S. currently has 750 active rigs. Canada's rig count was up by 12 rigs week over week and up by 30 rigs year over year. Canada's overall rig count is 166 active rigs overall year over year. We are up 305 rigs collectively. A few things that we are watching right now. The Supreme Court restricted EPA's ability to go big on climate. EPA's ability to curb greenhouse gas emissions from power supply plants was sharply curtailed, but not eliminated by the Supreme Court ruling on Thursday of last week. In a 6-3 opinion, the most significant climate change case to reach the High Court in a decade. The justices found that Congress did not give the EPA the authority to impose a sweeping emission rules like the Obama-era Clean Power Plan. See PFL's rail report for further details. National Grain Association, Feed Association, and other stakeholders, including North American Freight Car Association, the Chlorine Institute, and the National Oilseed Processors Association, filed a petition for rulemaking in July 2021, after which the board decided to open up a proceeding on the matter, soliciting public comments in April this year. In its April 1st decision, STB proposed several questions relating to proposed regulations were addressed in the opening comments submitted last week. The SGFA and other petitioners have proposed the STB adopt regulations to allow private car providers to assess a private car delay charge when a freight car does not move for more than 72 hours. Please see PFL's rail report. It's an interesting tit-for-tat approach to get traffic moving. The reading of PFL's rail report today is an absolute must. Not only do we dive into more details as discussed in today's podcast, we also summarize the latest petroleum by rail numbers, talk about refinery runs, overall petroleum imports, and export numbers. Also, there is an update on today's report on Freeport's LNG facility startup. Does not look good. Nat gas storage is building here in the U.S. as prices fall. Bottom line, a lot of great information and a lot of fancy graphs. We hope that you enjoy reading PFL's rail report today as we do it all for you folks. PFL has been extremely active in railcar storage, return on lease strategy, subleasing, mobile repair, flaring, and cleaning. Make sure to check out our just posted reports at pflpetroleum.com or give PFL a call to troubleshoot any concern, anything we can help with. If you're in any area in the industry you're struggling with, if we don't have the answer, we'll be able to point you in the right place. And of course, PFL's number is 239-390-2885, and we hope everyone has a fantastic week. Thank you, folks.